Welcome to the future of understanding. This is NeuroMind Insights, where we unlock the power of your mind.
In Kyoto, there is a 61-year-old woman whose waistline hasn't changed in over a decade. She doesn't diet, and she doesn't own a single dumbbell. Meanwhile, someone else is waking up, skipping breakfast, lacing up their running shoes, and heading out the door for a punishing morning workout. The person doing that intense workout is likely tracking every calorie, operating on an equation the fitness industry has sold us for decades. Eat less, move more, and the belly fat naturally disappears. But this diagram shows exactly what that math problem completely ignores. Within the first 30 minutes of waking up, a hormone called cortisol naturally surges in your body. Scientists call this the cortisol awakening response. If you push that cortisol spike too high or keep it elevated for too long, your body stops caring about your caloric deficit. That stubborn weight sitting around your middle is the result of how you manage the specific chronological sequence of the first 90 minutes of your day. Cortisol is necessary to get you out of bed and make you alert. The issue is when it's kept artificially high. A body under sustained stress reads that elevation as danger and shifts into a protective, fat-storing state. This animation illustrates how the body distributes that specific stress-induced fat. It doesn't store it evenly across the arms or thighs. Instead, it wraps it tightly around the central organs in the abdomen, using it as a kind of biological insulation. You can cut sugar and train hard, but if you are fighting a hormonal pattern with a calorie deficit, you are using the wrong tool for the job. You need a hormonal countermeasure. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep with zero fluid intake, your cells leak up running entirely on reserves. You are in a state of severe dehydration. The common Western instinct is to walk into the kitchen and immediately pour a cup of coffee. The traditional Japanese alternative is a glass of warm water, a squeeze of lemon, and a small pinch of sea salt. That warmth gently signals the digestive system to wake up. The salt replaces minerals burned overnight, and the sodium and magnesium actively help regulate your rapidly rising cortisol levels. Then there is the action almost everyone takes within seconds of opening their eyes, grabbing the smartphone. According to Stanford psychiatrist Dr. Anna Lemke, looking at early morning notifications triggers immediate microspikes of dopamine paired directly with spikes of cortisol. By practicing the Japanese concept of seijaku, or stillness, and protecting those first 30 minutes, you allow your nervous system to boot up gently. This keeps your body from locking into a reactive, fat-storing mode for the rest of the day. Once you are hydrated, the next requirement is to step physically outside for 5 to 10 minutes of natural light within the first hour of waking up. Researchers at the Salk Institute, specifically Dr. Sachin Panda, have spent decades mapping the circadian rhythm. Their work shows a direct clinical link between disrupted morning light exposure and increased visceral fat. We can track the biological chain reaction in this flowchart. Morning light entering your eyes triggers daytime serotonin production. Later, that exact serotonin becomes the raw material your brain uses to produce nighttime melatonin. Higher melatonin levels give you deeper sleep, and that deeper rest actively suppresses the next morning's cortisol spike. That 5-minute outdoor habit acts as a 24-hour hormonal shield. This brings us to a deeply ingrained fitness myth, the idea that a high-intensity, punishing workout is the optimal way to start your morning. When you perform intense exercise right as your natural cortisol awakening response is peaking, you layer stress on top of stress. This traps your body in an elevated state of alarm for hours afterward. Instead, many in Japan practice sampo, an easy, unhurried walk, often just heading down the street to a local corner store or a nearby Shinto shrine. Researchers at Stanford have studied the neurological effects of this kind of movement, focusing specifically on a phenomenon called optic flow. Optic flow is the visual experience of your surroundings sliding past your peripheral vision as you walk forward. That specific visual data actively calms the amygdala, your brain's threat detection center. This gentle walking is neurological medicine. It turns off your brain's biological smoke alarm and signals your body that it is safe to stop storing fat. The final habit on this timeline requires enforcing a deliberate pause, the Japanese concept of ma, by refusing coffee for the first 90 minutes you are awake. Stanford neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman has extensively documented the chemical necessity of delaying this early morning caffeine intake. Look at this simplified cross-section of a brain receptor. When you wake up, your brain is full of a molecule called adenosine, which causes that groggy feeling. It takes 90 minutes for adenosine to naturally clear out. If you consume caffeine early, it aggressively blocks those receptors. Adenosine doesn't disappear, it builds up in a massive backlog outside, waiting for the caffeine to wear off. Delaying your coffee allows the natural clearance to finish. That prevents the afternoon adenosine crash, which would otherwise trigger a secondary cortisol spike and aggressive sugar cravings right around 3 o'clock. Achieving optimal health and a flat waistline does not require brute forcing your biology. It requires respecting and aligning with your natural hormonal rhythms. These 5 habits are entirely free. You don't need a gym membership, a diet app, or expensive supplements. You only need the willingness to rearrange the sequence of your first waking hour. So start with a single microscopic action. Tonight, place a glass of water somewhere you will see it before you reach for your phone. If this changes how you think about your morning, share this video with someone who is struggling with conventional diets. Let us know in the comments which of these 5 habits you are going to try tomorrow, and hit subscribe for more scientific deep dives.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Neuromind Insights for more.